Football brings you the divisional round of the NFL playoffs and is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Colts and the Chiefs coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to chilly, but of course sold-out Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store, as it'll be the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest. You'll take the...
For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they are led out there by their mobile quarterback.
For a guy still in his second year in the NFL, this is obviously a big spot for him to try and fill. Able to engineer the victory in the wild card round last weekend. That's got to give him confidence, and it's got to elevate the confidence of his teammates as well. But as he said after the win, things are only going to get tougher from there. He understands the situation he's in. He understands what's ahead of him in this one.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's the former NFL rushing champ. It's Jonathan Taylor. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now Richardson. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 20-yard line. Just one catch for him last week in the wild card win, but getting involved early here and picks up the first.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Back to throw. Here's Richardson. Pass out left, caught by Woods. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Off the option, here's Taylor. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. Richardson looking to throw this. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Colts are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's 3rd and goal. Here's Richardson to throw. He fights him off. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Anthony Richardson, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Colts are on the board first here in this division round matchup. Forget about the storylines of being intimidated in the playoffs on the road. I mean, that was pretty clinical right there.
Yeah, they didn't treat it like it was a playoff game in January, did they?
No.
That felt much more like, hey, we're back in August, running a few drills in the practice field. They seem unaffected by what they're facing in this one.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. That time a 9-play drive. And it was Anthony Richardson who took it into the end zone to finish things off. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
And he and his team, they were the beneficiaries of a first-round bye earned by a tremendous regular season. He'd been a little bit nicked up, so he could use the rest. And I'm sure his teammates felt the exact same way. But now it'll be interesting to watch their first few drives in this one, because sometimes getting the rest is great, but sometimes you accumulate a little bit of rust as well. Maybe they come out flat, and they can't afford that in the postseason.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Running left to give to Pacheco. And he is going to lose yardage here. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
It's now 3rd and 9.
Mahomes now to throw. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Quiddy Pay drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. Here's Matt Ariza now. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Now Richardson back to throw it. That one out wide and intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And we'll see if that pick 6 looms large as this game continues, because we've seen plays like that alter a lot of playoff contests over the years.
I would agree with that totally. And you often think to yourself, why do they alter it so much? Because after games, don't we hear coaches and players say, well, one play doesn't usually determine the outcome? But I don't think that's really true, do you? Because there's times when we see plays like that, and all of a sudden the momentum jumps to that team side, it deflates the other side, and they never pick it back up, and then things really go from there, don't they?
That's the thing for me. We talk about momentum changes. A play like that is the ultimate momentum change. Extra point by Butker is on target, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Indy set to go on offense once more. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
Richardson under pressure, and down he goes. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. On 4th down, the Colts will call on Rigoberto Sanchez for the punt. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return, and it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. play action. Now it's Mahomes.
That's complete. It's Travis Kelce.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Over 100 catches in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch in these playoffs.
Oh, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. DeForest Buckner using that size to force his way in there and make the stop behind the line. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on.
Again, it's Pacheco. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football...
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
That's on the tackle, Braden Smith. Play action. Now Richardson.
And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter.
7-7, our score after 1. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. Richardson.
And his throw is going to be incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Flushed out right, and they'll get him down right around the 11-yard line. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and he did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Now a fair catch called for and made right on the 45-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Mahomes going to throw. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Short throw hauled in by Kelce. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
With no hesitations, they go right back to Kelce.
Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line.
Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable third down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
They go play action. Now Mahomes finds his man. It's Kelsey on the crossing route here. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 21. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
This is caught, and he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. And Xavier Worthy, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. Well, he didn't find the end zone a whole lot in his rookie campaign, but he's got himself a touchdown here in the playoffs.
And we know the guys on the other side of the field were hoping that he would be intimidated by playing in the postseason, but they can just let that go because he's as confident as they come. And I know that he believes that that's the first of many playoff touchdowns that he's going to have as his career progresses.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes the score 14-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, Richardson. Over the middle, into the hands of Woods. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. First and 10, Taylor now. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. So from just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 9. On the option to give to Taylor here. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And the officials here are going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. Richardson, shotgun on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad.
And now here comes Kansas City. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
Now Mahomes. And that one caught by Rice. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On play action, it's Mahomes.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
They go play action with Richardson.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
This offense so far on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12.
Richardson looking to throw. They'll set up the screen to Taylor.
And he does not get to the first down marker as they stop him at the 19. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on Divisional Round weekend.
Matt Gay on now for the Colts field goal.
And his kick is indeed good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. KC's offense ready to take over. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. To throw, it's Mahomes. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce.
And Kelce's going to have a Chiefs first down as he'll get this up to the 43.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Open man, it's the tight end Kelce. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. In motion, the tight end Kelce. Mahomes to throw once more.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Looking for Hopkins, and he's got him on the crossing route. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. 3rd and 5. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Throwing now is Mahomes. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one, because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that first down pickup.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good, and that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
So it's on to halftime of this AFC Divisional Round matchup as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
In the first half, we saw some strong play from Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes. He connected on a touchdown pass in that first half, and that's a big part of why his guys lead at the break. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But they run it more effectively, it may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. In motion right, one of the tight ends. Now here's Mahomes. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6. Now it's Mahomes again. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Open man right side is Rice. So the completion good for 6 yards, and now 2 yards to go on 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Well, they only needed a small gain on third down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Mahomes now to throw. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Patrick Mahomes taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Chiefs take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Off play action, Richardson. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there, because to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they got a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 38. A short throw pulled in by Woods. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Richardson to throw off play action. He'll buy some time right. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down. They'll run here with Taylor. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
Here's Taylor again.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Jonathan Taylor
Punching it in from a yard away.
And the Colts have got it back to within a score.
And the thing you have to love about Jonathan Taylor, he's a shifty speed guy most of the time when you hand him the football, but he's not coming off the field when you get down near the goal line because he's as tough and gritty as they come. And he finishes things off here by getting into the end zone.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that cuts the lead to 24-17. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Now this Chiefs offense gets set to go again.
They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
No gain on the play there. Second down. In motion, the tight end. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Going to need better protection here. Third and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. They're going to look to throw.
Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
A yard all they need, but it's third down. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Richardson looking to throw this.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. 1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the fourth quarter.
Now it's Richardson. A short throw pulled in by Woods.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. And this offense on third down today, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Yeah, Richardson back to throw it. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Richardson off the play fake. Now this will be swung out wide for Taylor. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. And the sack leads to roughly a loss of 6, and it brings up 2nd and goal. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. Richardson. He's got his man. It's Pierce. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
Well, partner, they're still going to have to go for it after that play. And I'm not sure that the running game is going to be a part of what they have to do on 4th down now.
From this far out, you wouldn't think so. And Gay knocks this one through, and that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
And out come the Chiefs now. And this one not officially in the bag, but it's looking more and more like you and I are going to be in these same seats next week for a game to go to the Super Bowl.
And it's contrary to our meeting with the visitors, wasn't it? Remember when we went over to their hotel before the game, and one of the themes they kept hitting us with was, let's put the pressure on the #1 seed and see if they can handle it. Let's do that. Well, they're the #1 seed for a reason. Best team all year long. They're showing it again in this game.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hopkins. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Mahomes going to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Rice. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Now Mahomes. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Brings us 2nd and 10 at the 36-yard line.
And again, it's Mahomes. He finds Hopkins complete. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
3rd and 5.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. And now a stoppage. It looks like we have a Colt who was shaken up on that last play. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Here's the Chiefs punter now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line.
Richardson looking to throw. A short throw pulled in by Woods.
Only able to gain a couple there, and that will bring up second down.
Here's Richardson to throw.
And he'll get this to the 22. So they began the play at the 11, and it's a gain of 11. First down.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
Got his man, it's Woods.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. Playoff lives at stake. Boy, this is a big one. 3rd down. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. It's Joshua Williams with a pick.
When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field.
And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. Now here's a fake on the jet sweep as they'll go instead with Pacheco.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
They'll give to Hunt here on the option. And he will have a Chiefs first down. And that's the one that should seal the victory.
Victory in the cards now for the Chiefs as they take a knee here. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And they will take a knee here. They go to a knee here, and with that, it's on to the AFC title game. So with that knee, they take care of business in the divisional round. They'll be back here at home next weekend. One more hurdle to get to the big show.
The good feelings, they just keep coming. They get to ride that wave for at least one more week because they have their big prize in their eyes, and that's getting into the Super Bowl. But they have to win next week after winning this one.
From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
One last shot for Richardson.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
The Chiefs going to play on another week as we say so long, everybody.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Chiefs victorious here as we say so long from Arrowhead.